Hey y'all, hey, Saafiyah here. I am still in Costa Rica. I am in the Limon province, in a town called Cahuita. I guess it's a city called Cahuita. We are on the Caribbean side of the country. It is very hot and humid here, way different from the capital in the central region of the country of Costa Rica, in the capital city of San Jose. It is way more humid here. Like literally, it's like I can't even describe the humidity. I took a shower last night, and as soon as I got out of the shower, before I was able to put on fresh pajamas, I was in need of another shower. That's how humid it is here. I love this region. It is so quiet. The views, the flora, all of the plants and trees and animals that you see is breathtaking. Um, the Wi-Fi, it leaves less to be desired though. It's very minimal, very slow. I have not been able to upload any video since I've been here. So that's a bummer. Even when I go to like the restaurants in town, the Wi-Fi isn't much better, but that's okay. So totally off the grid here. I love my Airbnb. I love it. I love the where it's situated. It's like literally walkable to the beach. Playa Negra is right here. And then the little downtown area, which I laugh because the downtown area is not like the average downtown that you could imagine. No tall buildings or anything like that. It's just like literally just the town center where there are a lot of cafes, tourist shops, some other little shops, supermarket. The bus station is there. So it's a very different kind of downtown. This area, this where this Airbnb is totally jungle. So I have the jungle as my, I guess, front yard slash sitting area. Okay, and it's like where the jungle meets the beach. I love it. There is no hot water, which I'm okay with because technically you don't even need any hot water. It's so hot here that the regular tepid water that comes out of the faucet is welcome. It's not freezing cold because it's not cold here, so it's not freezing cold. It's tepid, I guess you could say. It's I guess a little cooler than room temperature, and it is a welcome, refreshing shower every time I get into it. Again, no Wi-Fi, so that means you're pretty much off the grid when you're here. Um, my cell phone works. I have coverage. I have Verizon, and so I'm able to make and receive calls as normal to the US. So that's not bad. And then, I have the travel package with Verizon, excuse me. And so it's pretty affordable. However, so that includes data and I guess mobile calls. Um, but yeah, the Wi-Fi is non-existent. You can't drink the water here, so everything is bottled water. So when I had to make my coffee, it was with bottled water. I bought a couple of big bottles from the supermarket and put it in the coffee machine and let it go on its merry way. When you open the faucet, it has like a weird smell to it, the water that comes out. And I was told by the hosts of this Airbnb to make sure not to drink the water. It's not drinkable. So, you just buy bottled water. Um, there is no air conditioning in this particular Airbnb. In fact, there hasn't been any air conditioning in any of the Airbnbs that I've stayed in since I've been here in Costa Rica. Perhaps in the hotels, you probably would have air conditioning, but in many of the Airbnbs, you do not. But it was a lot more easy. It was easier to sleep during the night with the windows open in San Jose, and have a nice cool breeze come in. Like it was relatively cool in San Jose compared to here. Here, it's very humid and the air is very stagnant. It does the breeze does blow, but it does not really cool you off. In this Airbnb, there is a fan, and it's very helpful. I'm comfortable at night, but when it starts to hit daylight, it gets very, very warm in that Airbnb. And so I leave the door open, which is fine. But like the windows in there, they don't have screens. So I can't leave the windows open at night because I don't want any critters or visitors, like snakes or monkeys, creeping in on me while I'm asleep. So I keep everything closed and I just keep that fan on. And it's okay at night, but it heats up tremendously during the day. Raw beauty, and it's very organic here. People generally have their poultry walking around in there on their property, and then I guess when they are ready for chicken, they butcher the chicken. That's what I'm assuming. And I see a lot of people, literally, a lot of the restaurants, they walk in from the jungle or from their surroundings with fresh herbs and vegetables in hand. So literally, it's like farm to plate here when it comes to restaurants, and the quality of food is unbelievable. I haven't had any fish since I was here, so I think other than the ceviche I had in San Jose, when I first got here, like Sunday and Monday, maybe Tuesday. Um, but I didn't have any like fish. So I think today, when I go into town, I am going to try the fish and see what that does here. Other than that, the locals are very, very friendly. They see you. I mean, I guess they probably know everybody in this town. So when they see a foreign or a different face, they come up to you, hola, ¿cómo está? Where you from? Most people speak English and Spanish, so if you speak Spanish, you're golden. If you speak English, you can get by. And if the locals do not speak a lot of English, you can use things like Google Translate or whatever to help you with your conversation. Um, I do decently at Spanish. I used to be a lot more fluent than I am now, but I do okay. I can get by with the basics. And then Spanglish always helps. A little bit of English and a little bit of Spanish together, people can pretty much understand what you're trying to convey. But yeah, a lot of locals. I've met a lot of locals here. They're just so nice. A little quick history of the Caribbean side of Costa Rica. So, as you may not know, this country was conquered by the Spaniards. I don't remember what year, but 18 something, they were conquered by the Spaniards. And so, Spanish is the dominant language as well as Catholicism, the religion, right? Um, Back in the early 1900s, I believe, or yeah, the early 1900s, on the Caribbean side, especially, there were a large number of Jamaicans from the island of Jamaica that were brought here to help build the railroad system here, the coffee plantations, and I believe the sugarcane plantations. What else is new, right? Bringing in brown people for labor. So as a result of that, particularly on the Caribbean side, now they have migrated up into other areas of Rica, but heavy on the Caribbean side, there is a large population of African or Afro Latino inhabitants left over from them being brought over. So heavy Jamaican influence, heavy Irie culture, a lot of marijuana cultivation on this side, a lot of freedom as far as just the don't worry, be happy attitude, Jamaican vibe, one love vibe on this side of the country. A lot of Rastafarians. Um, yeah, so a lot of black and brown faces on this side of the country, which I love. A lot of Caribbean food, which has been delicious so far. And so, yeah. So, whereas on the Pacific side of the country and I guess central Costa Rica, the San Jose area, the capital, are more gringos, more of the white or the lighter skin Costa Ricans. This is more black and brown. So yeah, very laid back here, and it's something that you kind of must experience for yourself. So I highly recommend taking the trip, to Costa Rica if you can do the entire country. Um via it's doable via automobile. I wouldn't recommend that you rent a car as a first timer here because it could be very dangerous. They do close roads between San Jose and the Caribbean side and the Pacific side, pending the weather. Like if there's been, because they have a lot of mudslides here because of the rain. The road was actually closed the day before I came here from Jose, and I was a little nervous about, being able to come here. And then after Roger was like, they opened the road again. Roger is my driver. They opened the road again, so we're gonna go as planned. And I was like, okay, I'm worried about getting back, Roger, for my flight on Sunday. And he was like, don't worry, if that road is closed, I'll go the long way around. You won't be stuck, which is great because there's no major airport on this side of the country. So airport, the closest airport So there's two major airports here in Costa Rica, two international airports rather. There is the one in San Jose, and then there is one on the going toward the Pacific side in Gran Costa. That's in Liberia. Okay. I don't know if it's in Gran Guanacaste or if it's near Guanacaste, but it is Liberia, and that is on the Pacific side. So there is no major airport to get to the Caribbean side of this country. You would have to either, I think they have small local charter flights if you want to come from San Jose to the Caribbean side, but most people take the drive. And so it's 4 hours about, give or take. Now, if you wanted to take a local charter, it'll only get you to this side of the country. It won't get you back to the US. So you'd have to drive back to or fly back to San Jose. Um, and again, sometimes that airport is closed too, contingent on the weather. So yeah, I would say if you come here, make sure you have travel insurance in case you get stuck and need to extend your trip. and you just can't maneuver around the country as you need to get back to the States or get back to San Jose, and then from San Jose to the States. So that is my word of advice to you on that. The next time I come to Costa Rica, Roger is arranging for me to interview some of the folks that he works with in the medical tourism industry, and that will be in San Jose. And so my plan is from there, excuse me, I want to go to the Pacific side. I haven't been to Guanacaste and the Pacific side yet, and I hear it is a whole other animal as far as climate and everything else. While while San Jose is more mountainous and the weather and climate is cooler and more mild, the Caribbean side is hot and humid and jungle. Okay, and from what I understand, the Pacific coast is more desert like. And so it's more hot and dry there than it is humid and not as green or plush. And it's bigger, larger, so there are mountains and stuff, but the coastline is huge and the water is more, they have more waves there. It's like the surfing capital of the country. One of the major surfing tourism um, countries or destinations, if you say, destinations of the world. So, yeah, I want to check out that side. I'm not coming back before probably, I want to see if I could shoot back in like maybe November of this year for like maybe a week. Just so you know, never, ever, ever attempt to visit Costa Rica in September or October. Those are the rainiest, most dangerous months to visit. You cannot move around. Like they say, it's like impossible to get from place to place because of the mudslides and hurricanes. You'll see a lot of cheap prices, but don't do it. You will be stuck for sure, and you probably won't be able to see much of the country because you'll be stuck indoors. So they say November starts to really get better as far as that November is better. November is no longer the rainy season and it's their summertime. So from November onward till like I think they said June, July, good times to visit. Well, no, not July. I would say November. I wouldn't push past June because July starts the rainy season. That's where we're at now, July. And rainy season here is it's not like the whole day is a wash. I haven't been here when the whole day is a complete wash. There was one day in when I was in San Jose. I think that was Monday. I took that walking tour, and it rained the majority of the day for the most part. It did clear up during the evening hours, but it rained pretty much the whole day. That was the whole day that was the day that I would say had the whole day washed out with rain, and it wasn't even a complete washout, but the majority of the day, yes. But since I've been on the Caribbean side, it rained mainly in the early mornings, which it hasn't even rained the last couple of mornings that I've been here. But that first morning, that Thursday morning, it rained heavy for about an hour, and then it just brightened back up, and you couldn't even tell it rained. Um, so yeah, like early morning showers on the Caribbean side versus in San Jose, it rains like midday, more or less. I don't know what it does, what the pattern is for the Pacific side, but hopefully I can find out in November. I hope you guys are enjoying your Friday. I'm about to get up here, take another shower, and maybe head into town for some lunch. and just to walk around a bit, see if I can have some sloth sightings. I haven't seen any sloths here, but I haven't been looking for them either. I hear they're everywhere, so I'm going to try to find some today. And that is about it for me. You guys enjoy the rest of your Friday. Hasta luego.